Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Howard Company's Branding, Signage, and Technology podcast. Today, I am joined by Kevin Zalness from the Howard Company, and we're going to talk convenience stores. So, before we dive in, Kevin, if you just want to give an intro of yourself.
My name is Kevin Zalness. I am our national sales manager for all convenience stores across the country. Excited to be here.
Yeah, good to have you.
Yeah.
Before we dive into the actual topic, for the viewers on YouTube, we are wearing Bears jerseys.
Absolutely.
Our company is just celebrating the first day of the NFL season, and there's only like 5 Bears fans in the office and surrounded by Packers fans, so it's a good...
Seems to be the norm for me.
Yeah, it's a good representation on the podcast, at least.
Yes.
Okay, so the topic today is going to center around 78% of convenience store customers have a certain preference. So we're going to dive into that in a couple minutes, but first, we want to talk about NACS. NACS is the convenience store show. It's going to be in Chicago, Illinois this year at the McCormick Place Convention Center. We are at the South Building in the technology section. Our booth is S3460. You can find us on the directory on their website. We'll also be sharing a lot more info after this podcast about it leading up, but it is in October 15th to the 17th. Is there anything you kind of want to highlight, kind of advertise about it?
Yeah, no, I'm going to be there. It's my first time going. Really excited because I think the technology wing is going to be perfect for us. We have, we're jamming a lot into our small booth. So we have voice AI for order taking. We have thinking outside the box digital display solutions. We're actually going to highlight some of the customers that have worked with us in the last year and kind of showcase the consulting that we do. So, obviously we want to sell you what you would like, but also advise on things that we're seeing in the market. So I'm ready to have some conversations, and I think it's going to be a really fun 3 days.
Yeah, it's a huge show. The last time in Chicago, I think it was before COVID, a little bit after COVID, but it's massive. I mean, we go to the restaurant show every year, and it's about the same size. So definitely stay tuned for more information with that. So let's get on to the actual episode. So earlier this year, there was a C-Store Trends report that reported that 78% of convenience store customers prefer to pay at the pump.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the big challenge working with C-stores is, that really limits the amount of people that are coming into the stores, whether they're paying or what. So I want to talk about what makes a memorable customer or a convenience store experience aside from the fuel and snack.
Yeah, so a lot of, and I would agree with the report. It seems to be trending that, people go to the gas station to fuel and they're either kids in the car, the parking spaces are full, they see something that they may want, but there just isn't a quick avenue to get things. So we're seeing more and more people trying to integrate drawing factors either to get them into the store, which we can talk about from high bright screens to advertisings at the pumps to even ordering solutions with digital displays either within the pump unit itself or placing outdoor rated monitor touchscreens to place orders right next to the pump while you're waiting. And it's exciting. It's a difficult avenue to navigate. The main concern that we're hearing from the convenience store side is that they don't want to have customers fuel up at the pump, order something, and leave their vehicle there, clogging up the fueling areas.
Yeah.
So, thinking about how can we navigate flow of traffic from the pumps to either a drive-through or a pickup lane, or having designated stalls for employees to run out things to the vehicle. But the return is great. We're seeing 28% or sometimes larger size orders come through because they're not just ordering for themselves, they're ordering for the kids, they're ordering for family meals, and it's just becoming a larger ticket item if you can grab their attention.
Yeah. we're seeing a lot of our customers really place an emphasis on the 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 food that they're delivering, and
Yeah.
it's really starting to compete with quick service restaurants. It's made to order, it's fresh. Something that I feel like there's been a stereotype around convenience stores for a long time of the roller hot dogs, and
Yep.
so with a
Yep.
lot of these brands really starting to upgrade what they're offering, how can branding, signage, and technology really showcase those offerings better?
The items, yeah. So you're right on the head. So my hot bar items, people seem to really love, and is there a way to make that even better or fresher or a premium to where I no longer have to bring in an outside QSR to take over that space and keep it all in house? Uh, the the branding and the signage, that's what we're here for. So, you know, being able to work with professional photography, work with our stock imaging that we have, really showcase the top sellers or even your top margin makers to grow your ticket volume on those orders. Something may be a best seller, but it might not be your best profit piece. You may not want to showcase that as much. And we're able to have those conversations with the customers to make sure that what we develop and what we train them on and what we build is something that they're happy with before they even open the doors or they roll out that drive-through or the next experience.
Yeah, you kind of hit on what we can offer to convenience stores a little bit. I know I mentioned this, I believe, on the introduction podcast, that we do work with a lot of restaurants, but we also are working with convenience stores, grocery stores, banks, schools, kind of all over the board of who needs signage, technology solutions. So just to give a perspective of what we can offer convenience stores, how would you break down kind of like the anatomy of a convenience store?
Yeah, so basically we're capable of being the one-stop shop for convenience stores on everything from pump toppers, pump wings, DV LEDs at monument signs, window clings, pop-up art, indoor and outdoor digital menu boards, kind of pulling off that QSR drive-through equipment. There's some really neat products called like stretch monitors for if you're renovating an older storefront and you might not have the ceiling clearance to get a traditional monitor above your beer cooler or above your soda wall, that you're able to draw customers not just over to the snacks but draw them to your larger side of the store and have them really peruse everywhere. Currently working on projects for LED sticker displays so that you no longer have to have your employees go through and manually change prices. It really, I tell everybody that I work with, if you see something in the field and you wonder where that came from or how did this come to be, call me because I want to know about it, but also it's something that I probably have seen or can at least get them to the right place. Yeah.
And we are integrators, so we work with, especially on the technology side, so many different hardware, software, POS companies. So, just give Kevin a shout out.
Yeah, it's honestly the most fun part of my job is finding, somebody sees something unique and they want to, how do I get this? And the challenge of, hey, what avenues or who do I need to work with to make sure that we can get the solution done for them? That's the best part.
And especially because convenience stores are growing and you see some of these locations and you're like, this is so innovative. So operators really need to start thinking outside the box, coming up with those ideas that they have in their head and bringing it to us to make it a reality.
Yeah, no, it's great to, my previous role here, I had the fun of working with, hey, I'm converting an old Pizza Hut into a barbecue pit that I also need to have a drive-through. How does this footprint work to
Yeah.
make that, that's where I started. And then now to be able to look at larger scope projects, and instead of a 2,000 foot building, we're looking at 5,000, 6,000 square foot footprints and a blank canvas. It's really fun to get in on that side and then help them navigate where they want to go.
Yeah. It is so fascinating that just the strategy of getting people in the door. And I think for convenience stores, it just hits so different because you talk about the widest demographic available. Everybody needs gas unless you have an electric car. Truck drivers, people drive minivans, like all over the board. And then that notion, like we mentioned at the beginning, of some people choose their convenience store based off of the gas price.
Yep. Oh yeah. Going up north, taking a trip. All right, well, I know if I make it another 2 stops, I'm going to save a couple cents a gallon. But also, I forgot to mention, and you reminded me of it, the EV side. More and more convenience stores are looking at, hey, how can I put a level 2, a level 3 charger on site? And then obviously that takes a little bit longer than a traditional fuel. So if my customers are going to be there for 25, 30 minutes, I'm going to maximize their experience too. And so, we've been working with, EV charging canopies. We've been working together with some of the the charger manufacturers to be able to be compliant so that they can mount their devices on our equipment. So that, it's kind of plug and play and build. And so, EV, I'm an EV driver, not all the time, because it's a joke about my office that I run out of charge in the cold. But no, it's I don't see it going anywhere, and I see it being another avenue that more C-stores are debating right now.
Yeah, good point. So one last question I have on convenience stores is, if someone came to you and they said, I want to have improvements, that's a broad statement, sales, customer experience tomorrow without a huge budget. Okay. What's one strategy, what's one technique that you would recommend?
Yeah. The first thing you have to decide for like, hey, I need to get a bigger ROI. I need to make a larger margin. I need to have that repeat customer coming in, not just for a Mountain Dew and cigarettes or morning coffee, is figure out what is your best items and what you make the best, that has the best review by your customers that are coming in every day, and then showcase those. So, the goal is to get that repeat customer to buy in on one of 3 items. And so, trust your current customer. If you're selling a lot of a product, don't try to reinvent something and make something different. You should really take that product and highlight it. And so, most cost-effective solution is, window clings, static menu board solutions, things like our magnetic boards, where we can place a 2 foot by 4 foot call it an LTO board, but you have 4 or 5 different magnets that you put on that are your most popular items. Or if you know that you have a daily special, being able to just manually rotate that. I love to talk digital. I think that it's the way of the future. So the cost point on digital is gone down. It's much more competitive in the space. So I don't think that if you're afraid to go into the digital because it's too expensive, 4 years ago I would have said you may have a point, but right now it's really cost effective on being able to remotely change things or be able to price change when your delivery comes in and their margins have gone up. So instead of having to eat 10 days of a lower price point while you're waiting for a print to come. You're able to change it immediately and not have that gap and that lull. But I'd say really highlight your best selling items to start, and then from there pull in your highest ticket margin, things that you would like to promote.
Yeah.
Because they'll trust your signage if what you initially put out is really good food and a good selling item that is going to get them bought in, and then they'll trust you. And then when you put other new things on or you suggest other things, the customer is going to be bought in because they're like, oh, I've already had the other sandwich 5 times and it is good. They're not going to promote something that's not good.
Yeah.
And they'll go for it.
Yeah. Well, it's especially important, again, with convenience stores, because a customer might visit that convenience store once a week, once every other week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And compared to a restaurant, some people might go to the same restaurant a couple times a week, but they're revisiting that same location, same brand, probably over and over again. And, you know, the branding's going to stick, keeping up with LTOs, like you said. Just improving that customer experience. Yeah.
And you would be shocked. You know, I travel the country for this, and it amazes me all the time when I'm meeting with store owners, and as I'm touring their facility, they are, oh, hi, Steve. Hey, Barb. You know, how's the farm? How's the kids? You know, when you have good food and a good staff and a well-ran business, whether it's a sit-down restaurant or a convenience store, the people are going to come back. And so, you know, getting them bought in on the quality of your food, the people that you are, you'd be amazed at, you know, I know for us, like, I know there's certain gas stations that I can go to because I know the bathroom is clean. I know that they're going to introduce me with a smile. I know my kid loves the donut and I can get the things that I need. And so, yeah, I drive out of the way a little bit because I know that it's going to be an easy transition for us as a family. So all those things factor in, and I like to talk about all of them with our customer base, because what may work in the Midwest may not work in the Northeast, and so there's different avenues for everybody, which is great.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to wrap up. We have a fun question.
Okay.
Get to know our team.
All right.
So, Kevin's obviously wearing a football jersey, but he is a big baseball fan.
Yes.
Played in college, but he has started to coach.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, you are on the coaching staff for a high school team, correct?
Yes.
And then you are also coaching your son's Little League team?
If you want to call it that. Yeah. Yes. So I coach here locally. I volunteer my time with New Berlin Eisenhower, with my cousin Joe is the head coach there. And we had the joy of winning the team's first state title in school history this spring. So there's big expectations this year.
Yeah.
And my son is going to be 7, and I have decided to coach a 7U straight up baseball team. There's no coach pitch. There's no tease. It's straight up baseball. So it's going to be interesting, but you know, my son, he really wants to do it, and that's why I'm like, you know what, let's go for it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what to expect. The goal for me is for the kids to work on fundamentals and learn the game, and have fun.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing we will do like a tournament at the end of the year, so they could have the pool resort, you know, stay and swim and have all the fun, and then all the parents will be mad because they've had too much sugar and they won't go to bed. But
so did you start that yet?
No, so that'll start. We have our team, but it won't start until like January. We'll be inside, and then it's like 20 games.
Yeah.
It's not too.
So my question was going to be, I didn't know that you didn't start yet. What do you think the pros and cons are of high schoolers versus the little leaguers?
Oh man,
Coaching.
It's night and day. They're both so fun though. In my past I used to only coach as a job all the time. Yeah. So, I worked with 4-year-olds to 18-year-olds, and the main difference is like the young group is going to be a sponge. Like they will good, bad, and indifferent. They will be a sponge, and they're willing to learn, and what you say they take as gold. The high schoolers, you gotta earn their trust a little bit. The at the beginning with me only volunteering, there's that first few weeks of, well, he's only here some of the time. Do I really listen to what he has to say to me? But we got buy-in, and but it's the high school group is so, winning helps.
Yeah.
But it was so fun to see where they were in February to where they were in the end of the school year, like the growth that they had, and how the bonding in high school is great. And then like on the youth side, it's just seeing the smiles, seeing them have fun. They both fill my cup, of feel good, and so I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, glad to be here. It's great, and bear down.
Yeah, bear down.
Bear down.
We'll definitely have more convenience store discussions. I know we'll at least do a recap of NACS, but there's so many talking points around this industry.
Yeah, and shameless plug here. If you don't follow me yet on my LinkedIn, please find me, Kevin Zalness. I'm really going to be trying to push content for you all leading up to NACS, tidbits and trinkets and things I see in the field. And my goal is to get at least a couple of posts out a week of things to think about, things to ponder. And if anything sparks interest to you and you want to have a conversation, I'm always here for it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks
for joining us, and we will see you next time. Have a great week. See ya.
See ya.